Hello guys, I hope you are all doing well. In this video, we are going to look at two-dimensional array in C programming language. So let's begin. First, let's try to elaborate why we require two-dimensional arrays. Consider an example in which a student has 5 subjects. Okay, 5 subjects. Let's say subject 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And we have to store the marks of each subject. Okay, so marks for first subject, marks for second, marks for third, marks for fourth and marks for fifth. Right, so here we can simply use the one dimensional array. How? We can write here int, let's say student and 5 subjects. Okay, then I will use here a loop for int I equals to 0, I less than 5 and I plus plus, and I will simply write here scanf of %d and take the student marks input. Right, now let's say there is another student. Okay, this was student number 1 and there is another student, and I have to store again the 5 marks of this student. Okay, 1 2 3 4 and 5. Now how will I do it? I can here write student second 5. Okay, and this, let's say student 1. Okay, and same loop could be used for storing marks for student 2. Okay, same loop, just instead of writing here st1, I will write in that loop st2. Okay, now there are 2 students. Now let's say there are another student, let's say student number 3. Okay, student number 3, then I have to make another variable. Okay, for student number 3, array variable, one dimensional array variable. Okay, and to store its marks, I will again use the same loop, just write here st3. Now you will see that okay, it is okay for if there is only one student, it is okay for if there is 2 students. But as the number of students are increasing, here I have to define multiple students. Okay, one dimensional array of students. Okay, for marks, and similarly I am increasing the number of loops also. Okay, for student 1 I am using one loop, for 2 students then I am using another loop, for 3 students I am using another loop. So this is not the desired way of writing any program. Okay, to overcome this problem we use the two-dimensional array. Now in two-dimensional array, what will happen that each student can itself be an array. Okay, each student can itself be an array. Right, so student 0 will be an array, student 1 will be an array, and student 2 will be an array, and so on. And each of this array could have 5 or any number of elements also. If here was sti, then if I write here j, then each student can have something like this st, this is 0, so 0 0. Okay, let's say I am defining here st of 3 and 5 for marks. Okay, and these are number of student. I am considering here that there are only 3 students. Okay, number of students. Right, then each student can have 3 elements, 5 elements, 0 1 0 2 0 3 and 0 4. Okay, similarly this can also have something 1 0 1 1 1 2 1 3 and 1 4. Okay, like this 1 1 and so on. So instead of writing here this, what I will do, I will write simply here how many students are there. Let's say I am considering here there are 40 students. Okay, so I will write here there are 40 students and each student have 5 subjects. Okay, we have to store 5 subjects marks for 40 students. Okay, so instead of writing here now st1 5, st2 5, st3 5 or any other variable name, we are giving something generalized version of variables. First thing. Next thing is that instead of using the loops again, we will be changing it with the one generalized formula. Okay, let's see what is that formula. So before going to the formula, if I ask you that what does this statement means? Okay, 2 third, right? So this statement means that the index of 2 will be 0 1 2. This means that it will be the third student, and it is 3, so 0 1 2 3. Okay, this will be the fourth subject mask. Okay, fourth subject, let's say, or fourth marks, right? We are taking the example of students and marks here, but for any programming or for any requirement this could be used in this way. Now let's try to implement, in which I will be storing the 5 marks, 5 subjects marks for each student. Okay, so I will use here two loops. In first loop I will be pointing to which student we are talking about, and in the second loop the subject. Okay, int I equals to 0, I less than 40, and I plus plus, right? And then I'll write printf of enter %d info, student info, right? And here I'll write I plus 1. Now what will happen? If the ith value is 0, then it will tell me that we are going to store the information of first student. Okay, increment by 1. Why we are doing this? Because the indexing starts from 0, and this is not compulsory. This we generally do it to make program much more easier to understand. Okay, then I'll use another loop which will be for int j equals to 0, j less than how many marks I need to store? 5. Okay, so 5 and j plus plus. Okay, then I write here scanf of %d and of, okay, here the name of our two-dimensional array is st, and then I, and then j, and that's all, and this is close. Okay, we can also write here enter the marks for first marks, second marks, but let's stick to the general purpose which we are trying to explain. Okay, so now what's happening here? First of all, the value of I is 0. Okay, it will say that enter the information of first student. Then it will take the input. It will, where it will be stored, %d and of sti, which will be right now 0. And during the first loop of this, when j equals to 0, this will be 0. Okay, so the information of first student is going to be stored in st0, and first marks will be stored in 0 0. Okay, then this loop will again run. Remember that first the inner loop ends, then the outer loops will run. Okay, so then the value of j will increment, j will become 1, I is still 0. Okay, so I is still 0 and j is 1, so it will be 0 1. So whatever we will give input, it will be stored in this location st01. Okay, similarly it will go for 02 03 04, and finally for 04. Okay, because the indexing starts from 0, right? Then it will check the condition. This is j. Okay, this is j plus plus. It will check the condition, and the condition will be false. This loop will terminate. It will again go to the next loop. Okay, then it will say enter second student information. Okay, because now the I will become 1. I is 1. Okay, so here I will be 2. Okay, then again this loop will run. Now the I value will become 1 and j is 0 for the first time. Okay, it is again initialized here. Then whatever I will give input, then it is going to be stored in this variable. Okay, second students 0th or first marks. Okay, second students, then second marks, and so on. Okay, then again the loop will run, and this process will keep on repeating itself for 40 times. And here for each time when we want to give the input as numbers. Okay, for marks. Now let's say I want to print the information whatever I have given. Okay, only changes I will do here is that here instead of writing this, we can write here printf of %d st I and j. That's all. Okay, now here let's say info of %d student. Now what will happen that it will start looping. First I will be 0, okay, then it will write information of first student, okay, then j is 0, j less than 5, condition true, then it will print as the st I was 0 and currently j was also 0, so it will print me value of this, okay, st00. Then in the next iteration j will become 1 and it will print me this, then so on, and finally it will print the st04, okay. Again, then the next iteration of outer loop will run, then I will become 1 and here it will print me first I0, so it will print me this value, then again j will increment, it will become 1, then it will print this, and the loop will continue till its ends, okay, till the I is less than 40. Now let's see how can we initialize the two-dimensional array, okay. There are various ways, we will go through it one by one, right. So first of all, let's say I write here 2 and 2, right. So first method says I'll write integer and here curly braces, and then for the, let's say, st0, there will be st0 and st1, right. So first I will initialize the values for st0, then for st1, right. How? We will again use another curly braces and then whatever value for this subscript, okay, let's say 44 and 22, then space, comma, then another value which will be, let's say, 10 and 20, okay, that's all. Now if we see here, this is can be accessed by st0 and 0, right. This will be st0 and 1, right. This will be st1 0 and this will be st1 and 1, right. So here the first curly braces is talking about the 0th location, then the next is incrementing this location by 1, then it is talking about the st1, and if there is other also, then they will talk about st2, then st3, okay. And similarly in st0, the first element is talking about first element which will be the in 0th location, then the next location, this will be 0th location, this will be 1, this will be 0th location, this will be 1 location, okay. So this is 0th location for this st, okay, for this st, okay. We can call it for this array, for this single dimensional array, this will be the 0th location and this will be the first location, okay. This is how we can access the directly. Now there is another method to initialize two-dimensional array without using two curly braces. We will be using only one, okay. And what I will do, I will write here, let's say 44, 22, 10 and 20, right. Now it's already here that there will be two elements in each of the sti, okay. Let's say if there was st0, then how many elements it could have? It could have two elements for max, okay, which will be st0 0 and st0 1, right. So it could have two elements, okay. So the first two elements will belong to st0 and the afterward will belong to st1, right. Now if this is the element, this belongs to st0, and in which location this is lying in respect to this? In the first location, okay, or in 0th location. So it could be accessed by 0 0, then this will be with regards to st0, it is accessing by it is lying on the first location, okay. This was in 0th, this was on first, so it could be accessed by 0 1, okay. Now so in respect to st1, where this 10 is lying, okay, it is lying in the 0th location and it is lying in the first location. So for accessing first element, I will write here 0, and for second I will write here 1, okay. That's how we can also initialize it using this way. Another point is that when I am trying to initialize the variables in this format, then writing the column, we generally call it row, and this generally column, okay. Each row can have multiple columns. So writing the column is essential. This could be neglected or left behind. How? Let's say I can also initialize it using something like this. Okay, and the same thing here. Okay, writing this is mandatory, writing this is not mandatory. Why? You can say that, let's say there are 4 elements. Okay, let's say the same elements 22, 10 and 20. Now from here it could be easily seen that in each row there will be 2 elements, in each row there will be 2 columns, or in each row there will be 2 elements. Okay, so there will be 2 elements and 2 elements. So it is easy to find out that okay, there will be only 2. Here this will be 2. Why? Because only then this condition is satisfied, right? So this is compulsory always and this is not compulsory. Okay, last point is that the memory is given in contiguous fashion. Okay, so if this was our memory locations, right, so here it will be 44, then 22, then 10 and then 20. Okay, if this was our base address, let's say x, okay, then the address location will be x plus 2. I'm considering here integer is of 2 byte. Okay, so the address of here will be x plus 4 and x plus 6, right? So memory is given in a contiguous fashion. How this mapping is done? Let's say when I'm doing 0 1, it is pointing to this location. How it is done, we had talked about lot in our pointer section. Okay, but for now, for this video, you have to understand that to directly access the particular memory location, we will simply write st any subscript for I and any subscript for j. Okay, so that's all for today, guys. I hope you like the video. If you have any doubt, please comment it down. Thanks for watching and I have to see you in the next video.